Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Wow. Wow. That is not how you progress on a road trip. That is not how you get things done. Oh my. Oilers fall to Washington today, 7-3 in a game that once again got away from the Oilers. Things got away from them once again in back-to-back games, and the Oilers have now allowed 13 goals in 2 games. That's right. They've now allowed 13 goals in 2 games. Holy smokes. This is a game in which Edmonton, I'm a tad bit baffled as to how slow and sluggish this team has come out of the Four Nations face-off. Once again, this team wasn't consistent. I talked about Edmonton yesterday being a team that has a lot of games in which they play a good 42 minutes, 41 minutes, 37 minutes. This team had a good 8 minutes, a good 9 minutes, if that. This team had an okay start. Okay-ish, I'll say, to be exact. This team looked okay-ish for a bit, and then, once again, the second period, things fell apart for the Oilers in an awful way. And we'll get into so much more on this team, but holy smokes. This team just didn't look good in so many aspects. You want to go to advanced stats? You want to go to advanced metrics? Why don't we do that? Because, oh my goodness, when you look at the underlying numbers, things were not good at all. When it came to, high danger chances. Washington had their way when it came to high danger chances. And Corsi 4, the Capitals led that 65-46 high danger chances. Washington led that 15-9. The Capitals had 9 high danger chances in the first period alone on Calvin Pickard. And picks himself. Calvin Pickard had to be better consistently. These have been 2 games in which Calvin Pickard and Stuart Skinner have not had good efforts. Usually, you see either Stu or Pickard have a bounce-back game. One of them covers the other. One of them handles the other. Neither guy has had a good showing so far on this road trip. And when you got the Florida trip coming up, you now got to head to Florida. You got to play to Carolina. You got to play 3 teams that will show you no mercy. This is not good enough when it comes to what we've seen so far defending and in net. Not good enough. Not good enough. It isn't. When you come out of the break like that, this flat, against some heavy hitters in the Eastern Conference, I'm sorry. That is inexcusable. That is inexcusable for a team that, again, wants to go into the postseason and have a nice deep run and go in and win a Stanley Cup this year. That was not a good enough effort. And it was a game in which we saw Alex Ovechkin have his first ever hat trick against the Edmonton Oilers. And Ovi is so much closer to 895. He is that much closer to being the king of goal scoring in the NHL. 3 goals tonight, and 3 chances that Calvin Pickard couldn't stop, couldn't get to. A game in which it looked like the Harlem Globetrotters out there. It looked like the Harlem Globetrotters putting on a show against the Oilers. And Edmonton just couldn't find a way to stop it. Not good at all. Not good. Truly not. Anyways, game over Edmonton. That was my little rant off the top right there, because that was just frustrating. That was not good. You want a stronger response after the Flyers hammered you on the road. You didn't get enough. You did not get enough in a game in which you needed more from everybody. And a game in which you had 2 periods for Edmonton where they did not record 10 shots in the frame. First period, 6 shots. Third, 9 shots. Again, not enough on net. Not enough. Against the Capitals, they will make you pay. Washington, 2 power plays today, 2 goals. The penalty kill. Struggled. And when it came to the guys who did step up, or the guys who I thought would get rewarded with some more ice time, Matt Savoie only played 10:38 tonight. After what he did in Philadelphia, I would hoped he would have gotten some more ice time. Reward him. Play him with some more skill. Matt Savoie needs to be given a chance to jumpstart after a great game against Philadelphia. Put him on. Play him a little bit more. Let's see what he can do. Savoie barely played in the second period, in the second frame. He needed more ice time tonight. Disappointing to see that not being the call today by Chris Knoblauch. Disappointing, and there's more to get to. If you have your comments, questions, please hit me up on the Game Over Network YouTube channel, on Blue Sky, on Twitter. We got some questions I saw on Twitter from the Game Over Mothership, so we will address that on the show today as Washington wins 7-3, a game which Edmonton should have had. This should have been a game which Edmonton takes at least 1 point out of DC. Instead, they get nothing. Frustrating game. Very, very, very frustrating affair. And of course, if you like Game Over, if you're a fan, tap in and don't just follow Game Over Edmonton. Follow us on Game Over Vancouver, Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, Montreal, Calgary. Watch Hyperdrive Hockey. Read our articles. Andrew wrote an article just now on the Four Nations Face-Off. We got some articles now on the Game Over Network website. We're venturing out. Buy some Game Over merchandise. We got merch for you. Hats, hoodies, sweaters, mugs, bandanas, all kinds of fun things for you on Game Over Network. So, take care of yourself with some fun gear. Second period time here as we progress through another day that has a lot of content. Also, remember, this is a day in which there is more content to come. There is more to happen on the network today. Yesterday was a heavy day for the Canadian teams, and so is today. Today is also a big day for Canadian franchises playing on the network. After I'm done here, you got Toronto and Chicago squaring off. You got San Jose and Calgary. And then you got the nightcap. You got Vancouver and Utah. So, hey, when I'm done here, make sure you tap in to Game Over Toronto, Game Over Calgary, and Game Over Vancouver. It's all good fun. I was saying earlier, Alex Ovechkin, Edmonton, couldn't shut him down. Edmonton couldn't find a way to slow him down. Ovi is now 13 goals away from the all-time record for NHL goals. 3 tonight. It felt inevitable that Ovi would put up some points. But man, Ovi went wild today. He had a great game, but it wasn't just him. Edmonton couldn't find a way to stop Ryan Strome. They couldn't stop Tom Wilson. They couldn't stop Jacob Chychrun. Chychrun had a power play goal tonight. Ovi had a power play goal. Connor McMichael, they couldn't slow down. It was a lot of production from different aspects of the Capitals' offense. And a game in which you're looking at yourself thinking, wow. Dylan Strome, 3 points. He said Ryan Strome. Dylan Strome, 3 points. McMichael, a point. Tom Wilson, 2 points. This was a game in which it was more than just Ovi that found a way to slice and dice up the Oilers on the road. Matt Roy had a point as well, too. Washington had a nice balanced attack that found a way to get to Pickard, and Kevin Pickard just wasn't on his game today. He just wasn't, and the guys in front of him were not doing well. You look at the box scores for Edmonton. And in net today, Calvin Pickard, someone who in large part had been a very steady backup this year for the Oilers, just didn't have it. 6 goals against for Pickard, and of course, he had the empty netter. An .818 save percentage today for Calvin Pickard. And yesterday, we saw Stu have a save percentage of under 900. It's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done in Edmonton's net. You need somebody to step up consistently. It has to happen. So, and now people are going to wonder, what does Edmonton do? And we keep talking about it. The trade deadline. Where does this team go? And really, you need finishing as well, too. You need some more finishers. Because, again, we have seen too many passengers at times for the Oilers. I mean, great to see, of course. Leon got his 42nd goal of the year. Leon is going to be the Calder Trophy. Rock Richard. Leon is going to get the Rock Richard Trophy. That's inevitable. That's Leon's to lose. But, again, there's too many spurts right now where you're not getting consistent offense from other players not named McDavid, Draisaitl. So, in the days in which Connor doesn't step up or it's all Leon, you need somebody else pumping up right now. You didn't get much out of Hyman. Jeff Skinner played well today. Give credit to Jeff Skinner. He got a goal again. But, man, and the line combinations today were just... it was a frustrating game, and Chris Knoblauch will tell you as much. This team has to be better. But the decisions today just were very, very odd. And again, I want to see Matt Savoie play more. Play him more than 10 minutes against the Panthers. Play him more against Tampa Bay. Play him more against Carolina. I want to see what Matt can bring to this team. Sure, sink or swim time. See what you can do at this level. Certainly. But you got to get him going more than a handful of minutes against top 10 teams in the NHL. You have no choice. And play him with your top 6 guys. Play him on the power play. See what he can do. Challenge him. Give him the opportunities to show that he can be a part of your future or be a part of your playoff roster in a month or two. You have to. It's why you trade for him from Buffalo. So, just a weird game. And again, you've given up in 2 games 13 goals. That is not good. I know, yes, you are second place in your division. You're going to have, most likely, home ice advantage into a playoff series against whoever you might face. But you want to finish your season strong. You don't want these hiccups against these top teams, against these teams that you might play in the Stanley Cup final if you go far enough. You don't want these hiccups to be a thing this late into the season, after the Four Nations break. That's not a good sign. And seeing the reactions on Twitter, online, you're seeing Oiler fans who, Oiler fans want better. Oiler fans want to move at the deadline from Bowman and from Jeff Jackson. That will correct the ship a bit. That will fix things. I said it before on this show here. You're probably not going to, well, not probably, you're not going to replace Stuart Skinner, but you need to get him help in a tandem. Get him somebody else that can work with him in a tandem. I mentioned before, Kirill Vejmelka. Of course, the incumbent name that keeps coming up is John Gibson. That's a name we keep seeing a lot, John Gibson. Is he going to be the guy that his team goes and gets out of Anaheim? I don't know. I'm not sure right now. I mean, could Stan Bowman be on the phones talking about a John Gibson with Anaheim? Possibly. Other names. Jonathan Quick. Is he the guy you go and get out of New York? Maybe. But does John Quick want to leave home? We all know John Quick is from the area. New York is where he likes to be in. His home is nearby. Does John Quick want to leave New York to play somewhere else? And not just being somewhere else. Does John Quick want to leave New York to come to a market in Canada, a place he has never played in before? And thing is too, John Quick, he has his rings. He has his championships with LA. He might just say, you know what? I'm good. I'm comfy in New York. So, I don't know if John Quick wants to leave New York. It's a question you have to ask yourself. But this team has to make a change somewhere along the line to show that, hey, maybe we're not able to run it back similar to how we were last year. Because also to remember, this team lost their speed. You lost your speed burners. You don't have Dylan Holloway, Ryan McLeod. You don't have Warren Fogle, who, yes, at times had trouble finishing, but that speed was a game breaker. And also, too, you're a team that got older. So there are still some major question marks of this team to be asked in what has been a, quite frankly, disappointing start to the road trip in the Southeast. Had to be better. You weren't better. And now you play on Tuesday. You start the Florida road trip. And yeah, you've got to step up against Tampa and Florida. You need stronger efforts. Far better. This sleepiness out of the Four Nations break. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You have no choice. I'm sorry, I'm a little fiery right now. I'm fiery. I'm fired up. I'm getting a little fired up right now. Let me calm myself down. Let me calm down. You like that? You like the fire out of your boy? Oh, man. But it's frustrating to see because this team, we know, can and has shown better. We've seen it before. We have. But the constant hot and cold nature will not win you a cup. I'm sorry, it will not. It may be hard to say, but it's reality when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers. That's how it is. Anybody else can tell you that much. So, but yeah, I'm seeing the people are just, I'm seeing a lot of just anger. I'm seeing right now a lot of just, people want to be better. People want to see the hunger even more. And even though, yes, this team, and for all we know, the regular season might be a thing where the guys in this room see as a formality, but you got to step up though. Either way, formality or not, you got to step up. You got to show that, you know, hey, you're a team to be feared, to be respected, that you're not just a pushover come April or May. So, and again, all the guys in the room know that. From a Chris Knoblauch to a Darnell Nurse to a Nate to a Leon Draisaitl to a Connor McDavid to a Stu Skinner to a Calvin Pickard, they all know that. They all know the consistency has to happen. It's got to be. And you know what? We could be sitting here and, hey, they have a big game against Florida. They have a big game against Tampa. They do wake up. You know what? And will be great to see, but you don't want to wait 3 games into, or 2 or 3 games after a break to see the change. You don't want to. You really don't. So, we'll see how things go. We will see what changes come the Southeast trip as it continues. Anyway. All right. Third period time. So, why don't we get into some audio and video when it comes to post-game content. We do have some stuff with the players now. We have post-game audio with Connor McDavid and Corey Perry. So, why don't we jump into that? We will do that right now. 1 second. So, here is Oilers captain Connor McDavid.
Connor, as you guys look to recalibrate as a group here, what are the primary areas that you guys need to kind of clean up?
Well, everything, just 2 that haven't been very good.
You guys have had adverse situations in the past. What are some of the past experiences that you guys can lean on to kind of get through this?
Just getting back to work, Sometimes this happens after breaks. Some teams come up flying, some teams come up flat. We've obviously done the latter, so got to get back to it here.
You gave a lot of chances away against Philly. You tossed pucks away. Didn't see that as much tonight. Seemed like Washington was, they beat you fair and square. Is there much of a difference in the 2 games? Can you lump them together, or are they 2 separate incidents?
A good question. I would say, obviously 2 different styles of game. I thought we had the puck more against Philly, and we, as you said, gave them offense. I thought tonight we struggled all around. They played really well. We struggled all around. Hicks did a great job just keeping him at what we kept him at, or what he kept him at. So not very good, obviously.
They're a big, strong team, and they control the game. Is there something to be read into that? Does your team have to do something, play a certain way when you're playing a big team like that?
They come at you in waves, wave after wave. They got 4 lines, 6 deep men, and they just roll them. They're an impressive group. Obviously, they're having a great year. So, is there a way to play against that? I mean, push back out of bat. I mean, I don't know. It was just not good.
Corey, when it comes to the team game right now,
All right, that's Oilers captain Connor McDavid, and now we'll jump right into Corey Perry post game.
Corey, when it comes to the team game right now, what are the primary areas of improvement that's required from your group?
Where do we start? But it just comes down to the little things, the little battles, the little moments, and those are not there right now and lacking, and we'll find it. And we talked about it a little bit after the game here, and we'll find it.
What is said after a game like this?
That stays in here, but everybody knows how we can play, how good this group is when everybody's playing the right way. And the last, probably 6.5 periods are not the right way. And if you recognize that, you can start to build and start to look up.
These 2 games weren't the same. You guys made a ton of mistakes in Philly and handed a bunch of goals, gave them a lot of opportunities. I didn't think that was the case tonight. They kind of took the opportunities. Did you see the 2 games as different?
Yeah, we still gave up a lot of odd man rushes, a lot of line rushes, a lot of breakaway here or there, and you give the best goal scorer in the world that kind of time, he's going to put it in the back of the net. So we clean those things up and move forward.
This is a group that's been in adverse situations over the last couple of years, and a few different instances. What are some of the things in past experiences that you can lean on here?
Well, we started the season not great, and we can look at that and look how we got out of it. All it was hard work and putting your head down and doing the right things. I mean, we have guys in here that are world-class players and guys that can work, and those things work together. So everybody's just got to pull their weight and do the things that they do well, and not worry about anybody else's job. Just do their thing.
Would you say that there's 3 losses in a row? Would you say that this is some adversity that's arrived here that you guys have to deal with?
Yeah, you have to learn how to dig yourself out of a hole. You don't want to look too far ahead, but you get into playoffs and you lose a game, you have to figure it out right away, because you take too long, you're gone. You'll be sitting on your couch. So it's a matter of looking in the mirror and just bearing down and doing the right things. All it is, and I keep coming back to the same thing, same word, is work. And just your work ethic, and that's how you have to approach the game each and every day.
All right. So there is Connor McDavid and Corey Perry post game.
Connor, as you guys look to
in here, maybe we do have Chris Knoblauch ready. Yes, we do have Chris Knoblauch ready. So we'll go into Chris. We'll recap their comments here as we look forward to the Florida swing.
Chris, it was a decent start for your club in the opening 15 minutes. What do you think was lacking in the last 45?
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent start. Good pace, both teams skating well, chances both ends. Goaltenders made some really big saves. And then they continued that pace we dropped. And, they were able to just make a lot more plays. They were out skating us. And we looked like the slow team tonight.
What's it going to take to recalibrate as a group?
Yeah, just everyone needs to dig in and be a little bit better. I can't think of anybody that I'm saying I really like his game. He's playing outstanding, and I think everyone in that room can be a little bit better, some more than others, but I think collectively we can step it up. And once we do that, there's not the flip a switch, there's nothing that we can do immediately. Just everybody's just got to be a little bit better, and whether it's on our back check, our breakouts, our passing, our penalty kill, everything can be a little bit better.
Does it? The game in Philly, I think you played a poor game. You gave a bunch of bucks away. You worked yourselves. Well, tonight you started well, but you kind of got pushed out of that game by a really good team. Is it more concerning to lose a game this way than it was that way?
One, we're playing a team that wasn't in the playoffs last night or yesterday. Tonight we're playing the best team in the league. They got the West winning percentage, and that's not a coincidence. I mean, they're running pretty well right now. Everything about their team, whether it's special teams, the 5-on-5, their defense, everything, and we don't play well. We make some mistakes. They capitalize on it. If we have a late back check or a bad turnover, that team's going to capitalize on it. So, like I said, I just think we have a lot of areas to improve.
This is a team that had poor starts last year and this year. Last year you didn't have any adversity until you got to the playoffs, and you made it through all that adversity. Is it fair to say that maybe some adversity has arrived a little earlier this year for you guys?
Well, I would say there was quite a bit of adversity last year before the playoffs. The position we were in November to climb in there, I'd say that's about as much adversity as possible. But I think a lot of that is how well we handle adversity also makes you a little more complacent and less, there's not as much urgency to turn things around because there's so much confidence on it'll be okay. So it's a kind of a fine line on being confident but also a little bit complacent and overconfident. So I think there's a lot of confidence in the team, and right now we got to show a little more urgency to turn the switch.
Before the game you talked about puck management. Was that sort of did you feel like that was an issue today, or was it something else that you saw that maybe caused what it was, or maybe the other team, the way they've been playing?
I definitely think the puck management was much better than it was against Philadelphia. There were times that we did turn it over the puck, and I know one late in the period that led to a goal, and there were issues. There were times. For me, I thought we just looked slow to defend, slow to get up ice on the attack. I think a lot of it had just not finding our legs, and that makes it difficult to create offense if you're not moving, and gives them a lot more time and space to make plays. And I felt that they were able to make a lot of plays.
All right, and there's head coach Chris Knoblauch. So, I'm sorry, gang. We'll jump to you see the numbers here. All right, there's the post-game content, but yeah, I do agree to an extent that this was two different games, two losses, but it was two different games in which the numbers for puck possession were different between Philadelphia and Washington. Neither great. Neither one was great. I mean, we saw the end result in both games where, the end result in both games where Edmonton took the L in both games, had things to do. And Chris Knoblauch mentioned there how this team had a great 15 minutes, but 15 minutes isn't going to win you a game in most cases. You need a solid 60. A solid 15, a solid 12, a solid 19 isn't good enough. Consistency has to be there. The little things have to be cleaned up. And we sound like a broken record when we keep saying the little things have to be cleaned up. The work has to be done. The little things have to be cleaned up. Those little things should always be cleaned up. You can't regress in that aspect, especially not against the Washington Capitals when you've got some heavy hitters on their top six, and especially on their power play. You can't have those little mistakes biting you over and over and over again. It cannot happen. So, yeah, it's a frustrating game overall. Just very, 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 very frustrating. But if you're a Capitals fan, oh, you were living. If you were a Capitals fan, you were raising the roof all night. Anyways, let's get to some overtime, shall we, before we log off for the afternoon. You have a question here I can mention from the Game Over Mothership. From Game Over NHL. 6 goals against in back-to-back games. Do the Oilers need an upgrade on defense, or is it just a blip on the radar? So, I don't see it. So I think the 6 goals is a blip on the radar. Yes, I do think that this team isn't going to go into Florida and Tampa and give up 6 more goals or 12 more goals in 2 more games. But I think it goes back to the fact that this team, possibly, maybe you do go out and get a D-man. I mean, Marcus Pettersson would have been nice Edmonton, but now he's a Canuck. That could have been an upgrade. But I think this team, I think it's to a point where goaltending might get a look. I didn't think it would when the season began, but I think goaltending might get a look more than defense. Getting a better backup for Stuart Skinner. Be it, like I mentioned, be it a John Quick, be it a Kirill Vejmelka, or someone who can split starts with going into the postseason or during a playoff run. But I think you might look more goaltending than defense. I think the defense, there's times where the defense is fine. The defense can be adequate with guys like Bouchard, Ekholm, Emerson. I think it can be fine. I think it's more the goaltending, giving some stability to that is a bigger issue. But you clean up what you have in the defense. You just focus on the details, and the defense should be fine. So we'll see. We will see as this road trip continues. But anyway, I have talked long enough. This show is over. We'll talk to you again on Tuesday as the Oilers head to Florida now. They play Tampa, they play the Panthers, and then they'll play the Carolina Hurricanes. Anyways, but I'm out of here. Enjoy your Sunday. Have a fun weekend. Get back to work on Monday. Whatever you do. But we're out of here. I'm Avry. And like always, follow, subscribe, and like all of the content on Game Over Network. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't before. Hit that like button if you haven't already yet. We're out of here. Talk to y'all on Tuesday. Peace. If we can find the outro. Later.